ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। Guru Pyari Sad Sangat Ji, we do Ardaas every single day. This prayer, this Ardaas is so beautiful. There's so much power in it that quite often these aspects get overlooked. This Ardaas is done after the Nitnem of every Gursikh. This Ardaas is done at every Gurdwara around the world, multiple times a day. This Ardaas was done at your cousin's wedding. It was done when your child was born. It was done when your father passed away. Ardaas is done no matter what, no matter on whatever occasion it may be. But when we look at the words of this Ardaas, it might seem that the Ardaas doesn't actually have to do anything with whatever the event is. Why would you remember those Shaheed Singhs and Singhniya, those men and women and children and elders that were skinned alive, that were hung upside down, whose children were turned into necklaces and then put around the necks of the mother? Why would you remember that at the occasion of your 3-year-old birthday party? There's a lot of depth behind this Ardaas. And let's just tap into that. This Ardaas is this Ardaas gives us the ability to dive towards a much deeper place inside of us than any meditation, peace of mind, or any service will allow you to. That's what the meaning of Ardaas is. To look over what Ardaas actually means. It literally means, if we break the word apart, Arz meaning arzoi, which means a request, a humble request. And Das or Dasat or Dastan or Das just as slave, you can look at it in different ways to mean to put forward in front of a court, pesh karna. Or you can look at it to mean das, as in slave, meaning you're humble and you've surrendered entirely. All of them, they're referring to the same thing. It's a deep, humble request that tears away all of these other aspects, the wavering of your mind, the thoughts, the negativity of your mind. It allows you to go to that deep place within yourself, which you can't reach, which you can't bring out in any other way. When you've absolutely lost all hopes in life, when you can't focus on anything else, when there's no other hopes left in life, and you make this request, you completely surrender from a place of humility, a place of love. Let's look at the words of this Ardaas. At the very beginning, we refer to that one omnipresent Paramatma Ek Oankar, that's omnipresent, omnibenevolent, that resides in every heart. In fact, this entire world, all of this creation is the form of that one God. Then we refer to the power of Akal Purkh, the power of God, that double-edged sword which created all of the universe. We also refer it to mean Maya, the form of God. Then we refer to the 10 Guru Sahibs, the form of each Guru Sahib, from Guru Nanak Dev Ji, going through all the way to Guru Arjan Dev Ji, all the way to Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji, Guru Tegh Bahadur Maharaj, the 9th Guru. We remember that remembering the 8th Guru, all of our pains go away. The 9th Guru, all treasures of this world come inside of us. There's a meaning, there's depth behind all of that. We remember the 10th Guru, we remember the Guru Granth Sahib Ji Sache Pacha, the Guru Khalsa Panth. Then we remember the 5 beloved ones who sacrificed themselves for the Guru, gave themselves to the Guru entirely, the beloved ones. Further after that, we remember the 4 sacrificed, martyred sons of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. We remember their sacrifices. We remember the 40 beloved liberated ones who made a mistake, turned away from Guru Sahib, but then made the efforts to be forgiven. They were blessed, they were forgiven. We remember them. After that, we remember those mothers, we remember those children, we remember those elders who had their scalps removed, who had their head on their palm of their hand while fighting in battle like Baba Deep Singh. We remember those children who were thrown in the air and landed on spikes, landed on spears in front of their mother's eyes. Now this might seem extreme. Why are we remembering? Why are we praying to all of this? When your mind is going through and weaving through these thoughts, you reassess your request. Your request might be before that I want a new car. I want that promotion. I want my friends to think greatly of me. But when you go through these thoughts, it actually sets the precedence for what your ardaas should be. As soon as you make the request that, there's not enough cheese in my kitchen, I can't make macaroni and cheese, I'm hungry. And then you remember those Gursikhs, those people that lived in jungles, had absolutely no food. We remember the 40 liberated ones who left Guru Sahib because they barely had enough food to eat initially. They were forgiven and blessed. You remember all the Shidi and the sacrifice. You remember your love for God. You go through your mind thinking of the 5 takhts, the 4 sarovars, the pools of water. You remember the Ardaas of what the Khalsa wants. You remember Amrit Naam. You remember the Darshan Ashnan of Harman Sahib. Then you go forward and you ask for Kes Dan, Rahat Dan, Babek Dan. You ask for wisdom. You ask for Amrit. You ask for Naam. You ask for God's name. You remember all of these places that are in situations where the Khalsa is not able to fully protect them, fully take care of them. We remember Nankana Sahib, and if you want to translate that to something like today, you might try and think of it as the Afghan Sikhs. We remember all of these people that are in difficult times, in difficulties, in much more difficulty than we are in. It's training you to become absolutely selfless. That's what this Ardaas is designed for you to do. You do it every day, you do it every morning. It shapes your mind. Now, let me add something else in here. Ardaas is not just the spoken word that you do. It has nothing to do with the words you say. Guru Sahib says these words, Vin bolya sab kich janda, kis aage kiche ardaas. That these words that you speak, without you speaking, without you uttering a single word, Guru Sahib knows every single thought, every desire, every pain of yours that's inside of your heart before you even know it. A true ardaas, a true prayer, a true request is done deep from the heart, in a situation when you absolutely have completely humbled yourself, surrendered yourself, and that cry comes out through the love of God, a loving request. This formality of going through all of this is absolutely necessary for you to be able to know how to grow that love and shape it. You do it every day. That maybe one day, that time might come when I'm not even able to utter a single word, but I can still do Ardaas and Guru Sahib is listening to me. I know how to do it. At the end, you remember all of this. You put all of this prior to your own needs, prior to your own request. When you are constantly thinking of others, you're becoming selfless, becoming humble. You're lowering yourself, going much deeper than your own thoughts. This allows you to dive deep and connect with Paramatma. Guru Sahib is waiting for you to go deep down into that spot within your heart and make that loving cry, that tang, that pull towards God. Above that is all of your furna, your wavering thoughts, all of these things. If you can't dive deep down, we end up making requests which are like trades to God. We trade things for God. We actually make commands to God. We say, Guru Sahib, I'll do 1, 2, 3, and 4, I'll do this, this, and this. And when I do that, you have to do this for me. Ek nahi aski. What type of love is this? What you're making a trade for Guru Sahib. That's not considered true love. We read in Asadivar, Jis da ditta khavna, tis kahi aisa baas, Nanuk hukum na chalei, nal khasam chalai, Ardaas. That whose food we eat, whose air we breathe, whose life we live, the consciousness within us, everything that's being provided to us, the house, the clothes on our back. Guru Sahib, God is giving that to everybody, the provider of all. You can't make a command to God. You can't command Guru Sahib. No, you can only request. Nal qasam chalai ardaas. To that beloved, you can only request. But what we end up doing, even though we call it a request, we call it an ardaas, in some form it's actually still a command. We say, I request this. It doesn't happen. Guess what? Now you're upset. Now you blame God. Why didn't you do this for me? Now what? You're ordering God. Why didn't you do it? That's a command now. An ardaas is you being so humble. You make all the efforts in order to do what you need to do. Yet you give all the credit to Waheguru. You give all the credit to God. That I'm absolutely nothing. You make all of these efforts, and then you say, by these efforts, I'm not going to be able to do anything. I give all of this to you. I surrender it to you, and I ask for your blessings. Bless me. Forgive me. It's true, you can do all the seva that you want, all the meditation, all of these, mental exercises that you want to do. You can study all you want. But if you think, I've done it, then you haven't truly understood what ardaas means. You're not doing the ardaas. The beauty of how the Sikh ardaas is shaped, it puts your mind through all of these things, and by the time it comes time for you to say anything, you'll say, well, I have nothing to say. I just ask Guru Sahib, bless me, forgive me. How can I ask for anything? These worldly things all move away. Yes, you can ask for worldly things about, your basic needs, all this, because Guru Sahib is the one that blesses us with everything. But then one day, utilizing all of these things, you end up realizing, what do I really desire? I desire the love of God. Guru Sahib, bless me with the ability to love you more. Bless me with the ability to serve humanity more for the panth. To lose myself some more. Even if I'm asking for water, shelter, food, or any of these other things, finances, they're all there to aid me, to help me get closer to you. This is the beauty of how this ardaas works. If you do ardaas and you put your hand on your stomach and you're just saying, oh, when is this ardaas going to be over? All I know is, you get up when everyone else gets up, then, you bow down twice at the end of it, and then you receive the prashad, the pudding, and then you go home. You haven't actually done ardaas at all. You just completed a formality. But that formality is there to train you, to shape your mind on how to do ardaas. One day you'll realize that all of these things that I'm doing ardaas for, even the basic needs or this finances or money or whatever it might be, they're there to help me get closer to you. The ardaas works in this way. When you do this ardaas properly from a deep down place inside of your heart, what happens is Guru Sahib pulls you closer to them rather than asking for the things you need. This has happened to me in my life. There's so many things, so many times that we might ask that, Guru Sahib, I need this to help me. But that 1, 2, 3 things that you ask for are not actually going to help you. So Guru Sahib doesn't give them to you. Then you're upset, well, Guru Sahib isn't listening to me. But Guru Sahib helps you in a completely different way. And then you think back to it later that I didn't even know that this was the thing that was actually beneficial for me. The other things were actually not that good for me. Even though I was thinking that they're going to help me get closer to you. But they're not going to. Tu samrat vada, you know much more than me. I don't know anything. Tu samrat vada, meri mat thodi ram. I'm absolutely clueless. I have low intellect. That's how you do this ardas. Now you want examples. You want, how the power of the ardas, where does it work? In my life, there's so many times that it's happened. I've asked for one thing, but I didn't get that, I received something else. And sometimes the things that I did ask for, they actually did. They did follow through. Guru Sahib did teach me in many different ways. Sikhs across the globe, you can sit with them and ask them about the power of ardas. Go and read the lives of Mahampurkhs. There's so much writing about what is the actual power. What do you receive out of it? Completely shatters everything, that the way that you shape your life, that's the power. Done from a complete, humble, innocent spot. Lakhi Shah Vanjara, during the time of Guru Tegh Bahadur Maharaj, he was on a boat. You can watch the full historical story of it somewhere on our channel. But Lakhi Shah Vanjara, a merchant on a boat, sailing in a storm. His boat is about to collapse. His boat is about to drown. He does ardas. The Guru Sahib, I have no other hope other than you. With complete faith, full love, he does ardas. Guru Sahib saves his boat. Guru Tegh Bahadur Maharaj actually goes out there and carries the boat to shore. They had scars on their shoulder. And then Lakhi Shah Vanjara was blessed. Lakhi Shah Vanjara was blessed with understanding. Ardas does work. If you look at the Ardas of Baba Deep Singh, their Ardas was not, I want the next promotion. Their Ardas was much beyond that. It was for the Panth, it was beyond themselves. This is how a saint's words always become true. Because Guru Sahib is actually bound by the prayers of the slave. We read in Gurbani, Birthi kade na hovai janaki ardas. That the prayer, the request of the humble servant, humble slave, humble devotee will never go in vain, ever. That's the guarantee of God, because God is bound by, God is fully in love. Their words are simultaneously. That's how every word that comes out of the mouth of these saints, it comes true, because God can never allow their words to be untrue. Because every word of theirs is like an ardas. It's like a request. It's coming from such a deep, humble, true base. Baba Deep Singh Ji does ardas. That I'm going to go and free Darbar Sahib. He falls in battle. That Gursikh does ardas. That Baba Deep Singh Ji, you said you would free. Baba Deep Singh Ji's ardas becomes true. Baba Deep Singh stands up and they fight all the way to Darbar Sahib until they free Darbar Sahib, Golden Temple, Harman Sahib, and then they place their head. Their ardas was fulfilled. Their words became true. That is the beauty of it. And now when we look into even modern day examples, so many examples, you can read the books of Bhai Veer Singh, Principles of the Veer Singh, or even, examples through books like this, The Miracles of Ardaas. There's so many books about this topic. Ardaas. Taking your mind through this ardas all the way to the end. When you actually drop everything else in life and you say, Sache Pacha, I am absolutely nobody, absolutely nothing. This allows you to dive deeper within yourself, get humble. Guru Sahib is actually just waiting for those virtues, those qualities, that purity, that innocence, that love that's already inside of you to come out, but you're covering it up with so many different things. As soon as that ardas, that prayer comes from that spot, then Guru Sahib is going to grab you and pull you close, remove all your shackles of ignorance. The ardas is done. from a humble place, Guru Sahib blesses you with that naam. So the sound hits your ears, and that ignorance is dispelled. You merge with God. Anything you ask for is going to help you get closer to God, not move you away. That's the beauty of this Ardaas. You might think, I'm not receiving this, but instead these are things that are supposed to get you closer to God. So you're thinking that, we'll do this Ardaas, I'm supposed to impress my friends by doing this, get a bunch of friends together and we'll do, Ardaas, and I'll get my name said in the Ardaas. You haven't understood what Sikh Ardaas is. This is why when we read in Gurbani, Nanak hukum na chale nal khasam chale Ardaas, it's not a trade-off. This Ardaas has the ability, no matter how, in which form you do, even if you're just doing the formality, it's pulling you closer to God. I want you to think, if you're making the request and you're thinking that, I'm not really being able to connect to Ardaas, then you need to go through and actually understand, what does it mean when they mention in the Ardaas those people that are hung upside down and they're skinned alive, those people that had their scalps removed. What are we talking? Who are they talking about? Let me go learn about that. How is that relevant today? Why are they referring to the 10 Guru Sahibs? What about, do I even know the lives of the 10 Guru Sahibs? Referring to Gurbani, have I even read Gurbani? Do I even know what it's speaking about? What is God? What are my questions about God? Understand all of these things. Put your mind through it, weave through it. Then when you get to your spot of you doing Ardaas, what the Gursikh does, even if they read doing Ardaas for, I read Gurbani, I've read Panj Baniya, I've done Nitnem, they don't say, oh, I did Japji Sahib, now bless me with this. No, what do they say? They say, Guru Sahib, you blessed me to wake up in the morning. You blessed me with the ability to read Japji Sahib. And now I've read it with your blessings. I've made many mistakes, so forgive me for it. Forgive me for it and allow me to continue to read your Gurbani. Allow me to continue doing your seva. Allow me to continue doing all this service. Because if I think I'm doing it, then all of it will go in vain. It doesn't mean anything. Make all the efforts. Put it in front of Guru Sahib and say, I'm nothing. These words should ring in your mind that I'm absolutely nothing. Koi nao na jana mera. Koi nao na jana mera. Nobody knows my name. Kaho Nanak sab teri vadayai. Koi nao na jana mera. Everything is yours. All the praise is yours. I haven't done anything. That's when you put your mind through all of that. Then you can actually say, well, this Japji Sahib, I don't have the ability to do it. Guru Sahib blessed me to be able to do it. The service that I've done, the seva that I'm doing, I don't have the ability to do it. Make a request from that humble, selfless spot, either for the love of the Guru or for the greatness of the Panth for humanity. Sarbat Bala. That's why all of this Ardaas is done. Understand it in a much deeper concept. That's actually why we even named our organization Everything's 13. 13 means Tera, meaning everything is yours. Everything Tera. Sab kish Tera. Main nahi Prabh, sab kish Tera. Everything is yours. Meaning nothing belongs to us. This breath, this air, the mind, the thought, the consciousness. Sara kuch thoda hai. Pyareo, Ardaas gets overlooked so many places. What is Sikhi? Sikhi is the ability to learn how to do Ardaas and request your Guru. Only through the blessings of the Guru you attain the understanding and merge with God. By doing it yourself, absolutely impossible. By saying, I can do this, absolutely wrong. Request, humble. Do it every day. Do it after your Ardaas. Do it when you wake up. A Sikh should be doing Ardaas before they leave the house. That's written in Rath Maryada. A Sikh should do Ardaas before he eats, after he eats, before cooking, coming back from the home to ask for gratitude. Thank you for bringing me back home. Every aspect, every action of a Gursikh's life is meant to be Ardaas. Ardaas. So Pyareo, if you enjoyed anything I said, something stuck out to you. If I've said anything wrong, please forgive me for that. And if I've said anything great, if it's something you enjoy, something that can help somebody else, let me know in the comments. And then also, please share the video, like the video, comment and all of this kind of stuff, because the social media algorithms work in this way so we can spread the message of Guru's wisdom. So make sure to share, make sure to spread it as much as you can. our mission is to allow everyone to collectively get together and do the Ardaas. One more thing to add is when you do an individual Ardaas, it's blessed. But when the Sangat gets together and does a collective Ardaas, it's amplified. It's so much more powerful. That's why the Sangati Roop Ardaas, when the congregation gets together, is very powerful. And to do Ardaas in that state, Guru Sahib is always listening, always present. So Pyareo, please forgive me for anything I've said wrong. Sari Sangat Fateh Parwan Karni ji, Vaheguru ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki Fateh.